Hi, this is Ann Kemet. I'm an app care consultant with MindStream Analytics, and today I want to talk to you about the dynamic time series in PBCS. I have found it a very useful tool, and we've had many clients request it over time. So I want to show you today how to create it yourself. The dynamic time series calculates period to date values dynamically. The dynamic time series member does not need to be created directly in the database outline. Instead, a predefined DTS series member is enabled and associated with an appropriate generation number. There are 8 predefined dynamic time series members. Quite frequently, year to date, you will find automatically ready to be enabled in your system. Many people like to have the quarter to date and the month to date, and that can also be enabled if originally designed in your application. An example of an application designed to utilize year-to-date and quarter-to-date dynamic time series functionality will have your year total as the period, and then you will see there are subtotals, so to speak, of the quarters. So you'll see that there are 4 quarters and then the corresponding months underneath those quarters. An example of an application that is designed to utilize only the year-to-date dynamic time series functionality will show underneath the year total, it will show or be set up that the periods are automatically underneath the year total. There is no quarter subtotals. To implement DTS members, if it is configured in the initial design, you go to Navigator, Create and Manage, Dimensions, and then select Period. And you'll see in the screenshot on the left that before any DTS is enabled, you have a blank screen, basically. After the associated DTS has been enabled with a series, you will see, much like to the right, that you're able to select your year to date and enable it, which is often generation 1. Your quarter to date is often generation 2. And in this example, we have months to date as generation 3. And when you enable this, the alias names will automatically appear. To locate the dynamic time series functionality in Smart View, you go to your period member or dimension and you select a member, and then you can go to the caret in the middle and select dynamic time series, and you'll be able to arrive at, for example, your quarter to date. However, sometimes a period dimension has been set up in our second example where there's no quarter and you still want to get quarter to date information. You cannot change the configuration, and although it's less efficient, there is an alternative option that is available. And you do this by using member formulas. In our example, the hierarchy did not include quarters in the initial implementation, and therefore quarter to date cannot be enabled. However, to create an alternative, you create an alternate period hierarchy. So in this example, it's quarter to date, and you configure each period, quarter to date period, as you would like to see it. It does not need to be TP1 and quarter to date in parentheses. You could have Jan quarter to date, for example. After you have created this alternative hierarchy, you need to add your member formulas. So in this example, you see February for quarter to date, and you'll note in the screenshot that periods 1 and period 2 are added together to create the February quarter to date. For March, it's the same concept, except you're adding periods 1 and 2 and 3 together to get to your quarter to date. And then to use the alternative quarter to date in Smart View, you would select from your period dimension, you would find your quarter to date, which is your alternate hierarchy, and you would select, in this example, February quarter to date. The dynamic time series functions are also available in report writing, but only if it's enabled. And you'll find these in the function tab, and they're always at the bottom of the functions. So in this example, the year to date, month to date, and quarter to date were enabled. Now, one little hint I want to give you is sometimes you might not see them at first, and that's because frequently you have more than 50 functions available, and the default of rows per page is 50. So if you look in the screenshot and you do not see your dynamic time series available, just make sure you have all your rows displaying. If you want to use the alternative quarter to date hierarchy that we created, you would do it much like you do with just any period. You would go into the members, locate quarter to date, and then select your period. I hope you found today's information helpful, and we'll take a look at utilizing this functionality in your application. If you have any questions, be sure to contact us with any of the information listed below. Thank you and have a nice day.